Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the one, the only Apex Investor Daily Update. Today we're going to look at the top stocks in terms of volume. So let's look at that as we start our update. Today, as you may have noticed, was a very interesting day. There was a bit of a sell-off today. What I noticed was Gamestop and AMC were largely unaffected. Everything else was dipping well, they're just dipping, let's just put it that way. And as I said in the past, 90% of my shares are AMC GameStop, so I was only down maybe like 3%. It wasn't down too much. So if you want to secure your savings, just put it into GameStop and AMC. They seem to be insulated from everything that's happening in the market. So if the market crashes tomorrow, or next month, or next year, AMC and GameStop seem to have some kind of buffer, and that's because of the hedge funds, the way they've manipulated it. Little did they know, they actually protected GameStop and AMC from all their manipulation. They actually put a hedge around it, the hedge funds were going short on GameStop and AMC. They've manipulated those two stocks so much, to such a degree, that no matter what the market does, whether it goes up or down, AMC and GameStop are in their own universe. So it really depends on a lot of factors, and I think the biggest one is just the shorts having to cover their naked shorts in their position. So let's look at the top volume for today was MMEX with 1.97 billion volume, and yeah, let's not even talk about their change. They didn't really do much. It was minus 23%. And in terms of winners, I don't think there were any winners today in that respect. So I'm going to go to FinViz now. So that's pretty quick. Let's go to FinViz and look at the all-time low. Look for the screener where it says new low. We're going to look for new lows for today. That is found in Signal, and then you scroll down to new low. So let's look at new lows here. Wow, there's someone who took a big hit today, 60%, minus 60%. Someone really took a dive, an 11 million volume. It is WPG, real estate company. That is quite a drop. I'm going to take a look at that. That is quite interesting. I might buy some shares tomorrow. This really dropped big time. Wow, what a sell-off. Okay, so this stock is called WPG, Washington Prime Group. Washington. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. Can I just get a sip of water? I feel like my tongue stuck in my. Just get a drink of water. Too many. Not enough hydration. So. That was nasty. Okay, what a big mess. Oh man, not that kind of video. It's a stock video. All messy. Water all over. Okay, so Washington. Man, can I just speak English properly? Washington Prime Group Incorporated is an American real estate company. Stock symbol or ticker symbol WPG, Whiskey Papa Golf, and it's trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Institutional ownership, 37%. That's pretty good. Anything over 25% is pretty good. So 37% is good. The RSI 20. So yeah, it is oversold. Obviously, it's below 30. And their 52-week range was $4.41 at the low, and $24.21. Target price is $8, and their last trade is $2.51. That is a steal. That's a steal. I'm gonna buy some tomorrow. Wow, that's really good. Oh man, it can only go up from here. And the short float says 6%, but then again, these numbers are so skewed. I take them with a mountain of salt. I just disregard them completely. I think there's really nothing. I don't think they have any ground in reality. I think it's manipulated, in my opinion. Institutional ownership, that's hard to fluff. That number's hard to fake. Uh, what else am I going to look at? The market cap is 53 million, and all these uh, analysts say downgrade, downgrade, downgrade. So you can see it's very much fearful in the panic selling mode, and that's good. It's all good for Apex investor. So it says sue. These are some comments on FinViz. Sue Bloomberg for false information. Really? What did we do? Mentioned here stock equity. What happened here? I got up before the RS happened because they didn't like we were keeping it above $1. Everyone is complaining about the stock, but that's what happens when there's a panic. So people hate the stock, but they don't understand the stock market. I mean, it's like any stock. If CCIV, I'm really bullish on that, but it dropped significantly. It's down to the 20s. But if that dropped to $1 and I didn't know anything about it and I saw it at $1 all-time low, I'm going to buy some because I know the potential is much higher. It's worth a lot more. In this stock, looking at this chart here, looking at I think it's 3 years. It was worth as much as $60 before, $40. Let me go a little bit further to the monthly. So this is the last since 2015. It was up at 180, but just realistically speaking, I think if we just look at the 52-week chart, it gives us an idea of can this recover. And worst case scenario, and this is the worst case scenario right now, it's at all-time low, $2.51. Worst case scenario, in my mind, this only goes up to $6. So that's still double your money. That's still double the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is if it recovers to a decent amount where it was before it crashed, and you're looking at something like $12. So if you buy this at $2.51, you're selling it at $12. That is like 600% increase, isn't it? Or almost that. What is that? I think it's 251. Let's just say you got it at 251. $12 divided by 251. That's 478% increase. You can't complain with that. I mean, I've heard people say that if you just get 25% increase a year, like you're doing good. But if you get 478% increase, like even 100% is great. Like that's phenomenal. And that's what we're here doing. That's what we do at Apex Investor. We're looking at these stocks that are at the lowest all-time lows and looking at the potential. We're not just looking at any stocks. We're looking at volume. We're looking at institutional ownership. We're looking at what kind of business they are. Are they American? All these things like that. So WPG, I certify this as a Apex Investor trade. Official. I don't have a stamp, so I just have to pretend that was a stamp. My phone's a stamp. Apex Investor. Can I show you? I'll show you my logo here. This is the way I'll do it. Apex Investor. So WPG, I approve this stock. Apex Investor approved. Doosh. Here you go. It's a good buy, 251. You really can't go wrong with that. But just to do our due diligence, let's do our due diligence with the stock. So I'm going to add this first of all to Apex Investor's portfolio because I will buy some tomorrow. Okay, so post market, it's actually down 250, so that's great. It's even better. The lower it gets, the better. Let's look at the top reactions on Yahoo Finance. So it says here CBL has 650 million. Okay, so people are just pumping other stocks. They're saying other stocks are better, obviously, because they're fearful they're abandoning ship. Bloomberg reported that shopping center REIT Right is considering Chapter 11 proceedings. The plan is to file for Chapter 11. So okay, well, looks like they might go bankrupt. So you know what? I might have to take that back. I didn't know they were going bankrupt. Um, Man, yikes. Okay, this looks like they're going bankrupt. I'll take their silence as confirmation of the bankruptcy rumors. Oh man. Okay, well that's something that has to be considered, the possibility of bankruptcy. So I don't know. I would be very careful with this one. Hmm. It's looking like they might file bankruptcy. It's like 50-50, just based on the comments here. So you know what? I take that back. I take that back. I'm gonna remove the stamp. Removing, taking it out. It's no longer approved because of the risk of bankruptcy. If you choose to invest in this, it's your fault. Uh, I personally would probably only invest maybe less than $50 just experiment. Whatever amount you're safe with losing. Um, yeah, so that's WPG. So let's look at the other ones. Since that one seems to be very high risk gamble there, flirting with bankruptcy potentially. Another one that dropped dramatically today was Medirom, dropped 24%. Uh, okay, let's look at that really quick. I mean, that's not a lot. 24% is not a huge drop, in my opinion. This looks like a new stock as well. Yeah, so you know what? I'm not going to consider this one. This one's just too new. It needs to be a business that's been in business for at least a year, in my opinion. And again, I didn't say this, but I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even look like a financial advisor. And this is not financial advice. These are my opinions in the stock market. I just have really good instincts, and I'll prove that to you today with the buys I've made. So here we go. Let me just go to big losers, top losers. I call them big losers, but Fitbit calls them top losers. Oh, they're the biggest losers. The biggest losers today. Oh man, here we go. Let's look at some volume here. I like. I like big butts, but here we go. I like big butts. No. Okay, here we go. Let's look. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, you know what? There's so many that dropped today because there was a sell-off. They call it a sell-off, a correction. It wasn't a crash, but it could lead to a crash. I mean, we really don't know. But okay, let's look at this. So I see minus 22%. Let's go to the 30s. So minus 32%. Oh, there's like four here. Actually, we'll pick two. We'll pick these two. And this is the American company. First one. It's called Purple Innovation. So PRPL. Let's look at that one first. PRPL, Purple Innovation. And American company. They make furnishings, fixtures, and appliances. 52-week range, $4.42 to 41, and they're at 24. So no, thank you. It has to be closer to their 52-week low. Thank you very much. No, we're not looking at that. So disregard. Next is, wish I could see the 52-week. I know it doesn't show it, but next one is App Harvest, APPH. Let's look at that. And 52-week was 961 at the low, and the price is double that, so never mind. We want to take very, very low risk plays here. All right, next one is, this doesn't have a lot of volume, so I don't want to recommend it, but under $1 million, so forget that. Okay, the next one's Dixie Group with minus 40%. It's, oh no, their 52-week low was 53 cents. They're at 324, so no, still out of my. I wanted it at 50 cents. I wanted it at $1 or less. I'm not gonna get that at $5. Thank you very much. Man, okay, well, looks like we're not gonna get too many picks today. Last one, I'll go with these two, 10 million and 19 million volume, Chem Farm and Vroom. Look at those. See how close they are to their 52-week low. 194, no, too high. Next one is Vroom. Let's look at Vroom. 52-week low, $32, and they're trading at 31. Oh, that's probably an interesting play. So let's look at the. We'll look at the not just the 52-week, but the multiple. Okay, they've only been in business for about maybe a year. Yeah, so this is the lowest they've been in a long time. They're relatively new, Vroom. I think I've heard of them, to be honest. I think I've seen them. They might even be in my portfolio. So they are an American company, and they do auto and truck dealerships. Vroom Incorporated. Institutional ownership 77.7%. That's a good luck number. And their 52-week range again, $32 up to $75. And so they're at their low. They set a new low today. Yeah, will this come back? You know what? I think it's safe to say they could probably go back to 40, 50. I mean, 40, 45. We'll see. I mean, I don't really know too much about this business, to be honest, but I would say just based on the chart, 40, 45 is pretty safe. It will come back to that range. So you could probably make $10 on this. But personally, I'm not going to invest in this. $30 per share is too much for me with the money I have remaining. And 19 million volume today, so that's really good. The average volume is 2.8 million. RSI 29, so not too. I mean, it is oversold, but I wish it was a little bit lower. And the target price is $56. Let's look at some comments here. I don't approve this trade because they're still new. Like they're still too new of a company for me to recommend it. So I'm not going to recommend this one. Okay. So that's all for the top losers, top volume kings. Now we're going to look at the meme stocks. Here we go. So the meme stocks, starting with the king, the Bitcoin of the stock market, Gamestop, GME, King GME, I call it now. Everybody was in the red. Practically everyone. There's only like a handful that were in the green. GME was in the green pretty much the whole day. And excuse me. So I did what I said I'd do. I sold half my shares of AMC, and I bought a bunch of GameStop with it. I did it, and my portfolio is up as a result. It's up because GameStop goes up. When it goes up way higher than AMC does. AMC only goes up in smaller increments, and it's relatively like this. This is the chart. Like this is AMC. That's what it does. GME goes do. It's like do. That's what it's doing. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm such a professional. Do. So that's my technical analysis. When you see GME go do, then you sell it. do. Then it goes. That's how you know when to sell it. And you buy it when it goes. Okay. So GME. It was trading from 115 to 147 today. Once it went up, it spiked at around 230, all the way up to almost 150. And from the moment that it spiked, it didn't really go back down to 115 or 120. It stayed above 130 the whole time and ended up closing the trading session at 132, 0.35. So tomorrow, I expect more of the same. I think we're going to see the beginnings of a mother of all short squeezes. So it might happen tomorrow, but more likely, I think it's going to happen next week, according to the opinion of Uncle Bruce. And he brought up a lot of great points of why it will happen next week. If it doesn't happen next week, it's just going to happen later on. But it's inevitable. It's going to happen. We just don't know when's the date. So, but it's coming very soon. And the volume for GameStop was 32 million. Again, it's almost at the average volume for the last 3 months. And all the comments are pretty good with GameStop. I mean, they have a lot of sway now. They have a lot of swag because we're going to talk about this other stock very soon. But let's talk about AMC before we get there. So AMC had a pretty good day too. They were mostly in they were in the red, but not like everyone else were like minus 20, minus 30. No, they're only like minus 1%. They're just straddling the line between green and red. I mean, they did spike at the same time as GameStop at 230, and they went up to 856. And I sold my shares at that point because I said that's a signal. Let's sell it now and then buy the GameStop when it drops a little bit. And so it traded from 750 to 859, and the volume was 76 million, which is half of what it usually does. So GameStop's volume was closer to its normal, whereas AMC's was about half of what it normally does. So we can see AMC is still a good stock, but Jamie's king over it. So AMC is a prince, and then all the other stocks are just, well, they're going to be tanking because the hedge funds didn't protect them with all their manipulation. These two stocks have been so shorted that it really doesn't matter what the market does. These stocks are going to behave as if they're in like its own stock market, if that makes sense. They're going to be in their own universe that they're unaffected by everything else happening around them. That's what it seems. That's what seems to be the case, especially since since the squeeze, they ignore everything that's happening in the market. They just do what they do based on what the shorts have been doing in the hedge funds. Not the shorting hedge funds, not the hedge funds who are going long, because there are hedge funds who are going long now. And GameStop is trading right now at 128, the last from after hours. So it went down only a slight bit. I can expect to see that go up tomorrow. And then AMC was down also slightly, 769. So we're going to look at the biggest losers today in the meme stocks. HCMC is down 26%, For the Earth down 25%. So those are the two biggest losers in the meme stocks. Torchlight was down 20%. I was thinking of getting that one, but I thought, you know what, it's still not cheap enough. I'd rather get it at all-time low than that. Because I believe the company has a lot of potential, but I'm not so bullish on it. Like I'm gonna hold on to it forever. I'd rather just sell it off pretty quick once they get to a certain point. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that company. Socket was down 18% and another 3% post market. So for a total of 21, minus 21%. CCIV was down to $21 today, which is a steal really. And after hours at 22.98, so it is a prime time to buy it. I mean, yeah, I could see it going maybe 17, but we'll see. again, the stock will go to triple digits in the future, in the near future, especially once they release their car and when they announce the merger is official and they're no longer going to be called CCIV, will be known as Lucid Motors, and they'll have the appropriate ticker symbol, probably, I don't know, LUCD maybe, or LCM, I don't know, Lucid Motors, I don't know how they would do that. Tesla's TSLA, so I guess it would be LUCD maybe, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what symbol they use. These symbols kind of grow on you, and you keep repeating them. They kind of become memes to themselves in a little way. UVXY was actually up, so that's one of the few that was up about 6%, another 2% post market. Oh, that's the VIX. That's the volatility index there. Right? I was looking into investing in that, but in the comment section, it was like, "What's the point? You're just going to lose more and more money. It's set up to fail, so it's really not a good investment." And this is the stock that I really promoted yesterday. It's called Super League Gaming, SLGG. And I told all my viewers yesterday, I said, I'm going to put an order to buy $1,000 worth in the morning. And I did. I bought it, should have got it at the opening because I would have bought it at $6. I ended up getting it just under 7. And it closed the day at $8.82. Everyone else went, yeah, and SLGG went, oh, just 69%. Plus 69%. Look at that. And so they were up $3.61. After hours are down only 16%, but still, uh, that's just people trying to jump on the bandwagon. And the reason why that's jumping so much is because of a post. I think it's a tweet that Ryan Cohen, the new CEO or CFO of GameStop, tweeted some cryptic message where he had a ice cream cone and a cartoon frog, and there was something there, but those were the two symbols that were shown. And some people did their detective work, and they discovered that there's a CEO that worked for two companies, one to do with ice cream, I think it's McDonald's, I'm not sure, and then one to do with a frog, something like literally frog. So when they looked at her LinkedIn profile, she's actually heading up the SLGG. So the investigators they deduced that, okay, well, this is either something to do with a collaboration or some kind of business dealing, or best case scenario, GameStop is going to buy them out and use their esports arm to venture into the esports arena. So that's why when you have a company like GameStop, which is pretty much the darling of the stock market, regardless of what the media says, it is the darling. And so if this deal is actually true, if the rumors are true that they're going to buy up SLGG or just or just work with them in some capacity, and you could see this stock will probably double. They'll go to double digits very quickly. I mean, this is all rumors. But once that news is announced, you can expect a big sell-off because you have to sell the news, right? So I'm going to look at the conversations on Yahoo Finance and just see look at what people are saying. What's the story here? This is not going back to nothing except up. Yeah. No, this isn't a pump and dump. This is GameStop rumored to work with them or buy them out. So People are saying this could be the next GameStop. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say. We'll see what happens next week. We'll give it some time. But yeah, I mean, every day it's hitting new highs. If you look at the historical chart for SLGG, you'll notice just in the last month, it was all the way down at below $3. In the last 5 days, beginning on Monday, it went up to was between $3 to 3.36, so it wasn't really on the radar at all. Tuesday went up to $4, um, pretty much at the open of the market, $4, and just stayed, relatively like $4 and under. On Wednesday, I think that's when the tweet, uh, when Ryan Cohen tweeted that about the frog and the ice cream, and so it went up from $4 to 5.57, and then today, as you know, uh, it went up to, well, 8.82. It was fluctuating. It went all the way up to 8, and then it dropped down to 6.77, and it was just people selling off because they weren't really sure, was this the real deal. And well, the support was there. Support was there at 6.66. Both numbers, 6.62. Um, so it didn't go below. It didn't go below $6 ever again. And I expect the same thing to happen tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see what happens until they release news regarding whatever they're doing, whether it's GameStop or whatever it is. I think a good play is for SLGG to say something soon, or else this is going to come crashing down. They have to replace something. Um, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be a good time. So that's all for the meme stocks. Let's look at Wall Street bets. I don't like looking at Wall Street bets because there's just a lot of BS there. And I was right about Rocket. It was a bunch of BS. I have a knack at smelling BS. On the flip side, I also have good instincts, which means I have a nose to smell for gold, for good opportunities. So SLGG is a great opportunity. I think it might be a little too expensive for people just getting in now, but it depends on how much money you have. Personally, I would probably wait for it to drop a little bit more. I mean, it looks like the support for this, it's hard to say, but I'm going to say like $4 to $6. Probably really good support, 4 to 7 maybe. Um, yeah, I wouldn't buy it at the price right now if I was just getting into it, but I don't know. Some people think it's the next GameStop, so if they do announce news, that will trump any technical analysis, and it's just out the window and we'll go to the moon, right? Okay. Oh, somebody has 10,000 shares of GameStop. Wow. Congratulations. Good job. AMC to open 35 more movie theaters across Illinois Friday. That's great. That's really good news. So, I mean, just on that news alone, their stock should be going up. Okay. It's just a lot of people talking about their losses with GameStop and their feelings. Not really news here. So I'm going to go into WSBets.win. Look at that. And then GME is really where it's at, the subreddit GME. Okay, again, it's very similar to the Wall Street Bets Reddit site, where it's just people expressing their emotions and posting memes. So GME daily volume at 2 p.m. Eastern was about 14 million for the day, more than doubled in the last 90 minutes. So, well, that's actually that's noteworthy. That means that it's building momentum. Okay, GME spiked up all of a sudden and then went down. Well, it didn't go down too much. Still stayed above 130. So I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, everything else was down today. GameStop is one of the few that was actually up. So that's all for those two sites. We're going to go to our GME. So let's go to the subreddit GME. There's a GameStop stock. Here we go. This is where the money's at. This is the best website for GME news. I mean, anyone with a phone or laptop can read these, but I mean, if you want to hear somebody read the noteworthy post, then you come here, right? As well as we offer, pretty in-depth analysis regarding good opportunities, good buying opportunities in the stock market. I don't look at stocks that have already gone. I find that a problem when someone says, "Oh, look at this stock. Let's say it's XYZ stock," and then you take a look at the chart. It went up like 500%. So what the heck do you want me to do? You want me to buy right now plus 500%? It can only go down. The likelihood of it going down is very high. So you're just chasing a stock. But when I suggest a stock, like with SLGG yesterday, you can see it went from $6 to almost $9 today. So I mean, that's a big gain. And with the other plays that I mentioned, I mean, if you look at my past videos, I mentioned a bunch of other stocks that hit all-time lows. In particular, where is it? ATMX, recommended that at $4 and something, for below four, it was below $5, and you can see that the stock has nowhere else to go but up. It's just dipping a little bit, but it's going to eventually go up. It just takes time. So that's one of them. SNES is also a good one at 150, and it went down to 144 today. So that was a good buy at that price. It can only go up as well because these are all-time lows. GTT is also a good buy at the price of around I'm going to say 170, 160, and that can only go up as well. It's only going to go up. Unless the company goes bankrupt, like the one I mentioned earlier, WPG, don't buy that one because there's a 50-50 chance it could be going bankrupt. And then the other one I mentioned, the first one I mentioned in all of my recommendations of stocks that are dropping like it's hot, like this song, was JE, Just Energy Group. And I recommended that stock back when it was worth $3 and $3.49, $3.50. That's when I recommended it. It's now trading at $4, and that's with what happened today with the sell-off. But it peaked all the way at 415. So I mean, if you had 1,000 shares, and how much money is that, right? That's quite a bit. That's at least if you sold at 15, that'd be 60 cents times 1,000. So doing the math, would have made $600 today just on 1,000 shares of Just Energy Group. So that was a good pick. So you can prove what I'm recommending, whether I know what I'm talking about. And all these picks, well, Just Energy really proved me right, but the other ones will take more time. And Just Energy, that's not even the peak. I'm recommending that the real sell price for this, for Just Energy Group, is way higher, much higher than what it is obviously right now. Let's look at the 1 year. This stock will definitely go back up to the teens. I'm going to say $17 is a good price to sell it, especially by the time summer comes and all this cold weather will be forgotten, or the power outage and power outages. Sick. With the ice storm in various parts of Texas and United States. You had various ice storms, so that was very much prominent in the news, and they pretty much doomed and gloomed with that story of Just Energy being involved in that. And so that's why the stock tanked so much. It was an overreaction to the news. So it was a good price to get in there. at $3.50. So I do expect this stock to go back up to $17, $18. So that's 600% increase, 500, 600% increase. Can you really go wrong with that? It's already up. You already would make money on this. You bought when I told you to buy this. Um, so it's a good company. All these companies I mentioned that I recommended on this channel, uh, the ones that drop low, particularly have significant amount of institutional ownership, high volume, over a million, and they're all at their 52-week lows, maybe even setting new lows, new all-time lows. So these aren't stocks that you're chasing in any by any stretch of the imagination. You're buying them at a very, very low risk uh, level. So when your level of risk is very low, uh, the chances of them going even lower is very slim. But again, if anyone listens to my recommendations, they buy these stocks. They have to take into account that these aren't stocks that are just going to go up tomorrow or next week or next month. It might take 6 months to a year, because going from an all-time low to recovering will take time. It's like when the stock market crashes. It's like a mini crash for these stocks. The Dow Jones and Nasdaq, when it crashes like 50% from its all-time high, they call that a crash. 50% or greater, maybe even 30% or greater. Um, so these stocks, a lot of them have crashed over 50%. So that is a crash for those stocks. So in order for them to recover, it's going to take at least 6 months to a year for you to really reap the rewards. And it takes patience. That's why Apex Investor, we're not a channel for day traders. We're a channel for long-term investors. And that's my forte. All my best trades were made when I didn't even pay attention to anything happening in the market in terms of panic selling and all that. I just stuck with my pick, and I forgot about it, and I sold it when it seemed the time was right. So, like, my best example for this was Nintendo, and at the time I didn't know I didn't even have access to a trading platform. So I just asked my dad, can you buy me Nintendo stock? I'll give you the money and whatnot. So he bought it at a certain price. It wasn't too high. It said I need the stock now. I can't wait. So he got it. I can't remember the price right now, but it was before the Wii came out in 2008. It was 2008. GameCube came out in 2002, 2001. So it was around 6, 7 years later where the Wii came out, 2007 and 2008. So that's when I bought the stock before the Wii came out. I ended up selling the stock towards the end of the Wii lifespan, which was, I want to say around 2013. So I held on to that for a good while, like at least 2, 3 years, maybe more, for the life cycle of the console. I mean, that was the only stock for me. That's one of the few companies I really, really trust and I would love to work for is Nintendo. They're a very good company, great quality control, great customer service, great products. They're an iconic company in human history. When you think about it, what other company is as good as Nintendo in terms of making iconic characters and great products? I'd probably say Disney is the only one that could probably compete with Nintendo when it comes to IPs that are just have such strong brand recognition and are known for great quality products. Of all three manufacturers, I've been a Nintendo guy since I was a kid, but Sony's leapfrogged them because they just they have more diverse products. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 are just, I mean, they grew up. They grew up with their audience. Whereas Nintendo, they're still perceived as a family-friendly company that are targeting kids. Make a lot of kids games, and they've made a lot of progress, but they're still not at the level to compete with Sony and Microsoft in terms of more mature gamers. but they're doing a lot better than they were during GameCube days and Wii and Wii U days. So I give them that. So yeah, with Nintendo, the story was I just bought the stock. Uh, my dad bought it for me, and then I didn't pay attention to not even the price. I just said, okay, well, it seems like the right time to sell now because the Wii is starting to slow down. They're making less games, and you're going to release a new console in the future. So this is when the price tanks. Is when before a new console comes out, and towards the end of the console life cycle. So I ended up selling it for a great profit, and then eventually made $10,000 profit, which was my first trade in my life. $10,000 from Nintendo, and that was essentially all the money I ever spent on video games in my life. Probably amounted to that. So I was like, I got all my video games for free. When you think about it, it was a sweet deal. Just having a little bit of good instinct on that. So I'm gonna look at Reddit on Gamestop GME. This is the GME subreddit. It's taking a while to load. I might have to look at it on my laptop. So just bear with me as I try to get this site to load. Okay, here it is, GME. Let's see if it will load on my laptop first. I think yesterday it did the same thing. It's just being a little wonky. Doesn't want to cooperate. So still loading on my phone. On my laptop it is loading. It's loaded, alright. So I'll read on the laptop. We're 158,000 diamond hand strong people here. 19.9 thousand holding the line. So that's more than usual that are online at the moment. Usually we get it's around 16,000 average. It's funny how I remember that. I go here pretty often. I go here every day now. But since I found out about this group just I think last week, I had no idea this even existed. The subreddit is the greatest thing since sliced bread, really, in terms of GameStop. So it says pages unresponsive. Wait. Oh boy, okay, what is this? Okay, squeeze out your last bit of, I can't say the word, I'm gonna get banned on YouTube. But it rhymes with bum. And kiss your butt goodbye. It has become clear this could be used by shills to overrun the GameStop sell. Okay, wow. I'm gonna look up this ticker. What a symbol. Charlie, uniform, and Mike. Wow, that is just a disgusting, not complimentary disgusting, it's just ugh. Oh, there's no ticker symbol C on it. You butthead. Never have I trusted in a group of complete strangers. Okay. Let's look for a good post. WSB shillbots think SSR is a ticker. Oh man. It's short selling restrictions, I think that's what it stands for. Oh, that's hilarious. GameStop is up 10%. The rest of the market is down. Well, most of it was, except for SLGG. Dow is down 700 points. Do you know what it means? 500K is not a meme. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. GME is cool, but I'm loading up on CUM now. Oh man, okay, I gotta read that post now. This is too funny. This is too funny. These guys are just. I love this place. You guys are amazing. This is the real deal. This is the best subreddit in all of Reddit. It really, really is. GME, man. Wow. Whew. Oh man. GME is cool, but I'm loading up on CUM right now. Watching GME break resistance only to fall again. Why aren't we talking about CUM? Holding. I keep holding. You gotta load up on CUM. Well, you know what? You gotta refill on that. Let it regenerate itself, if you know what I mean. Cohen's tweet of the pets.com mascot says, I like your shorts. It's a cute little puppet there. Regardless of what happens, I've had the time of my life. I love you all. Oh, that's so sweet. Obviously, this isn't the squeeze. Calm the F down. Yeah, it's not, how can that be a squeeze? 150? Do you guys remember? We're going to go to 500. We're going to 1,000 that very same day when they halted trading because they knew what was going on. And they would lose billions. They would go bankrupt. They go out of business. Tons of hedge funds would have closed up shop. Yeah, well, this guy bought at 134. I did the same thing. I bought at 130. I bought at 133 and 70 cents. I said, you know what? I love that number. I like leaped. I don't care. I just let you buy it. I didn't. That was the dip for me. It's 133.7. So I'm in, baby. I'm in. I doubled my positions or tripled it because I was in. What was my average price? I was in for an average of 289, I think, and I have 13 shares, and I doubled up or tripled because now I'm at 43. I'm at 43 shares now. So I really doubled down my position or tripled down, whatever you want to call it. Let's look at GG. These portfolio GG. See what my average price is. So I averaged down big time. I was at 289 uh, price per share before today. So I expect it to be a lot lower, and I'm already smiling big. I don't even know what the number is, but I'm expecting probably under $200. I feel really good about it because I know this is going to $10,000, probably 100,000. I mean, we'll see where it goes. So I mean, worst case scenario, and that's 1,000. 1,000 times 40 is 43,000. You can't complain. But best case scenario, that's 100,000 times 43, which is, I guess that's, I don't know what that is. Is that 4 million? I really don't know. Do the math here. I'm really stupid. I'm just dumb eight. Yeah, it's 4.3 million. That'd be nice to make 4.3 million, or $10,000 would be 430,000. That's not bad. Don't let it go to your head. Money is money. It can go away in the blink of an eye. It really, it's just to help you out and people you care about in the community. That's what it's really for. It shows you your power and what you will do with that power in this world. It's not just to you know just to exercise your muscle and you know uh, throw your weight around and bully people. That's not what it's about. All right, so I'm just gonna check my holdings really quick before I continue on this lovely, lovely thread of GME. Love this place, the subreddit of GME. So SLGG, yeah, I'm up quite a bit. It's great. I'm really happy about that. Oh, I bought some shares of. I didn't mention this, but I'm going to mention it now. Full disclosure: I bought a stock, one of the stocks of the EV electric vehicle manufacturer. They're called Hylian. I think they're Hylian, like HYL and Hylian Hylian Holdings Corp. So I have positions in that. I bought that at $13.10. So I'm up. Uh, the 52 week was 950 to $58. So I mean, that's a fire sale right there. I thought, you know what? I don't see that going any lower than that. To be honest, I mean, if the market crashes, yeah, it will go down to $10 or less. But at that price, 1366, that is pretty much before it started to even go up to 30, and then at its peak of 55 or 58.66. So man, that's a huge opportunity. I just bought a few positions in that, but 10 shares. So I thought that's not bad. And if it goes up to, if I hold on to this for a good while, say it goes to $100, that's $90 times 10. That's almost $1,000 just from $100. That's pretty good. I'm not going to complain. I don't think anyone would complain unless you just don't like money. So that's that one. But overall, I'm only down Actually, I wasn't even down today. Where was I? Yeah, I gained. I finished the day plus 2%, and everything else was down. S&P 500 down. The Dow Jones was down. The TSX was down. Everything was down except oil. Oil was up, and GameStop is up, and SLGG is up. Yeah, I bought NGAC. I bought that one last week for a good price, and that has a lot of potential. CCIV, wow, I'm really down in that one. But you know what? I just forget it. I don't even look at it because I know it's worth triple digits. I don't see the price. It's all psychological. Yeah, it's showing $24, but I know the real price is actually $200 plus. So I just ignore it until 5 years down the road. I can say, okay, I waited long enough, and this company's doing great, and it really helped me out. And they reached a certain point where they're just cruising now because everyone trusts them, and they just maybe I'll just hold on to it for life. I don't know. It's really it's a good company. We'll see what happens with their cars. Yeah, I'm really not too. I mean, CCIV is where I took the biggest hit. Torchlight, I bought that at 208 like last week, and like a bit of a crash, I think, a bit of a dip. It was last week or 2 weeks before. So Sensonics, they took a bit of a hit there too. Thanks. Yeah, I really took hit with everything else, but then again, I didn't really buy too much. I only had a little bit of money here and there, so it's not like I took a massive, massive hit. It's only CCIV where I took the biggest hit. All right, so I'm just reviewing my stocks, and we'll go continue with GME, CTRM. Oh man, that was a good buy at 60, 70 cents today. That one trades pumps or not pumps promotes a lot because it's actually I see the potential there. I agree with him that it's got a lot of room to move up. And Mavis is down. Yikes! I bought that at 21 bucks. I really chased that stock, but no, this stock has a lot of potential as well. That's why I bought a share. I bought one share. Sundial. Yeah, I bought that under $1, so I'm still in the green for that. But I still see that can go up some more. AMC. Yeah. Well, I used to have 1,000 shares. Now I have 500. But overall, I'm doing much better at the GameStop now. So I'm actually, I averaged my average share price for AMC is $15. And I said before my average price for GME last time I reported was 289, something like 290. Let me tell you what it is today. About 30 shares at 133.7. $178, man. $178.86. It's my average price. I bought a share for $60 back when it really went down. I should have bought more at 40, 45. But at that point, I thought, oh man, I was really down on the stock. I was just too emotional. I thought, oh man, freaking, hedge funds, such bastards, So I thought, I'm just going to avoid GameStop and AMC like the plague. That's what I said to myself. And little did I know, I was actually buying into the fear. I was buying into the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I bought into that at that point. A lot of people did because you saw the volume was so tiny. It was barely moving for a month. So that really tested patience. And yeah, I did buy a share. I bought a bunch of AMC shares too for really cheap as well. I really bought, how many did I buy? I bought 66 shares at $7.47 at one point. I should have waited for the $5 when it went down to $4 or $5. I think it was $5.50 at the low. But GameStop, I did pick one up at $60. I should have bought some more. But you know what? That's okay. You learn from it, and I got my tickets to the moon. Got my tickets to the real rocket, not RKT. This is the real rocket. GameStop is actually going to the moon. This is the real one. It's gonna go to at least $10,000. And it sounds like a joke. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but when you listen to all the professionals, listen to Uncle Bruce, when you look at the statistics, you look at the numbers, you realize just how manipulated this has been, and it continues to be. Where the short positions is nothing close to what they're reporting. It's way over 100%, probably closer to 200%. It's ridiculous that they think they can get away with this, but they know they can't. So they're just trying to either minimize the damage or they're also going long. So it's an incredible thing we're going to witness. Like I said, it's not a fight between hedge funds and us anymore, or whenever it was. It was really a battle between the hedge funds, those who make the regulations, and the hedge funds that are going long. So they're good hedge funds, the billionaires, the multimillionaires, and us. So we got like 4 versus 2. Um, okay, so that's all for my stocks. I just want to take a good look at that, and I'm averaging at 178.86. So I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Yeah. So I got my tickets, 43 shares. I only had 13 before today, but I did what I said I would do, and I sold half my position with AMC, and I just traded it for GME because I could see that AMC goes up, but GME goes up way more. It's like, why buy silver when you can buy gold? Why do that? So why buy Ethereum when you can get Litecoin? Because that's what I did. I got Bitcoin. Or to say Litecoin, why get Ethereum when you can buy Bitcoin, not Litecoin? Okay, so let's look at these posts. Ones that are loaded. There's ladies, and what? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So it's to do with the ticker symbol, Charlie, uniform, Mike. What a big joke. I should make one. I should make a stock. There's some way for me to make a stock and go public. See you when. It might actually go up. You never know. Okay, it says here, there's all these posts and people responding. We're selling GME to load up on CUN. Forget Riot, I'm loading up in CUN. Y'all gonna come back tomorrow to my calls? And someone saying, my wife's boyfriend is telling me I should load up on CUM. Said CUM is going to make big moves tomorrow. That's such a missed opportunity. Could have said, you gotta load up on CUM tomorrow. I heard CUM's gonna explode tomorrow. It's gonna explode off your screen. Am I gonna get banned YouTube? Please don't ban me. Okay, I love it here, honestly. I love it here, honestly. Don't miss out on the CUM thing. Pump and dump. Wow, that is the biggest double entendre. Pump and dump of CUM. Literally can go can go tits up. Oh man, am I gonna get banned? I said all these words. Oh man, if you would have told me 5 years ago we'd be fighting with rich people over CUM, I would have sent you to mental hospital. But GD, here we are. Check OP's comment below mine, just a heads up. Fake CUM at that. What the F did I miss? What is CUM and ASS and PNIS? Actually look them up, you retard. I did too. I looked up CUM just to see like who's stupid enough to make a ticker symbol like that, but you never know. CUMFUC is our next play, forget GME. There are plans to get the bots to post about CUM and others. Yeah, because no, that's really smart. It'll show you that not only is the market manipulated, they're so lazy they're using bots to manipulate it. You know that whole RKT gate? What a bunch of BS. Smell that a mile away. I didn't even want to talk about it. I was so disgusted. I was so turned off by RKT. Everybody, but really? Are we gonna buy that crap? Really? Think we're gonna fall for that crap? CUM, that's more plausible. It's kind of funny. This article about CM is underrated. There's an article? Get out of here. What? Okay, I gotta open that and use that. I used to work for Cummins as an engineer. Are we faking it this whole time? We don't fake it. That's only women do. We don't fake, we don't fake it, man. No fake CM, only real. Only real, baby. Gorilla Gang. Monkey Squad. It's making up things. Planet of the Apes, man. We throw our COM on the wall. Holy dumb F, part 2. Oh man, so much bad language here. I gotta stay clear of this. This morning, someone posted a screenshot of it, F ton of posts on the WSB Reddit. They were talking about taking SSR to the moon. Well, coincidentally, yesterday, everyone here was spamming SSR because there was hopes GME would get on the SSR list. No one was talking about a stock ticker. Well, the brilliant redarts here decided to spam CWAM all bloody day, much to the chagrin of everyone else and hoping the bots would see it and just repeat it. The post here is the result. So yeah, officially I'm going to put COM as a Apex Investor approved trade. So COM is on my list. Let me give you my stamp of approval. Boom! COM's a buy at any price. Priceless, baby. It's a life giver. GME, forget that crap. We're all about COM, man. COM, it's not even priceless. It's life itself. It's the real one. It's the real stock. Forget GME, man. C1's where it's at. Now it'll shoot you up. It's gonna shoot up straight to the sky, and then land on your face. Oh man, hard not to make a dirty joke with this stock. I apologize. I'm not about this. I'm not about this joking, nasty jokes. F off to everyone who told us not to post about CUM. I didn't post about it. I'm just talking about it. I don't know if I'm gonna get banned or not. But whatever. Whatever. Algorithm. I'll just start a new channel. I'll just start a new channel. The real Apex Investor. That's what I'll call it. I mean, that's my Instagram. It's the real Apex Investor. It's real Apex Investor, one word on Instagram, at real Apex Investor. People are finding me. I don't know why I never mentioned it until like yesterday, but people added me from God knows where they found me, but they found me. And they were looking for me. And they followed me, and I'm not following them. Usually I follow back without my other accounts, but this is my only account. I'm just, screw it. I have no time to follow anyone. I just follow who I want to follow, which is Trades, and Uncle Bruce. That's it. That's all I want to follow, and Luke, Quick Fingers Luke. So if you would do me a favor, or do them a favor, subscribe to Quick Fingers Luke. That's LUC, Luke with LUC, all one word. Trades, just TREY, apostrophe S, Trades, and Stock Markets with Bruce. I mean, all these channels are bigger than me, but I just want to big up them because I respect them that much. Like, they give you the real news. And that's what I try to do here too. I bring it to my perspective of extreme. I was going to call it my channel extreme trading or extreme investing. I thought that sounds so stupid. It sounds like an exercise channel, like extreme fitness or something. No, Apex Investing, Apex Investor. And there's already an Apex Investing channel. So I thought Apex Investor sounds pretty, I don't know what the word is, like gnarly. Can I say that now? Because you've heard of Apex Predators, and that's actually, there's a negative connotation with that. But Apex Investor sounds like, whoa, that's a killer. That's a killer right there. That's what we're about. We're about killing in the market. Gonna buy it, super low prices and sell at super high prices. This CUM pump and dump got me so hard. Might as well just CUM dump. I can't do this channel anymore. It's too much. I mean, this thread. I can't do this thread anymore. There's a lot of protein in this thread. Power to the players, you think? Yeah, CUM's the best investment. Yeah. Take it from me. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. But if I could give financial advice, it'd be to buy CUM. I'm sure Warren Buffett approves of CUM. I think it's on the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio. CUM. I think he's got a position of 1 million shares. Yeah, he bought them just recently because we told him I was going to the moon, and then he looked at the fundamentals. He looked at the institutional ownership. He looked at the business. He looked at their profit margin. He looked at their quarterly estimates. He looked at the target price. Everything was in the green, like massive. They're super undervalued. C1 is. Okay, well, this is a long thread, so I'm just going to skip it now because it's just too much. It's just overkill now. But there is an actual company called CUMMINS, and it outperformed the market despite losses, so it did a good job. So CUM did great. It's actually really expensive at $258.61. So, I mean, it's sort of a code name for CMI, CUM. Think about it. I mean, you see on the buy at that price. Let me just look at it really quick. I don't want to dismiss it altogether. I'm gonna do our DD, so I'm doing my DD for. I'm gonna do my CUM on the DD or the DD on the CUM. I don't know. But double D's. Your double D's. This is for the double D's, baby. Here we go. Double D, triple D, double G. Here we go. So 1 year, 52-week range. It was between 101 to 268. It's almost at the all-time high. I wouldn't buy it at this price, but it is very worthwhile your time. It was up 158% in the past 5 years. So, yeah, I'd buy this personally. I'd get this at 100. Like in all seriousness, I would get this at 100. 100 to 130. 52 week. I mean, yeah, they did all the way down last year, pretty much at this same point in time at 102. So that would have been a steal. Man, 258. It's a great stock. I don't even know what the heck they do, but I like it. I like what they do because they make money. All right, let's look at this CUM mega thread. This joke just never ends. It's a meme that keeps giving. Okay, so so the WSB, they think SSR is a ticker, but CUM is the real one. It's the real ticker. Use correct player, please. Okay, what is the correct player? SHITTIERDD. Okay. Did he get awards for this? Oh, he did. Wow, he got a lot of awards. Can he use that? Can I use my awards for buying stocks? Because I want to turn them into money and buy some shares. Can I do that? I don't know, because I feel like that would be a good idea. And what's the point of all these awards if I can't turn them into money? Why don't you just send me PayPal money or money via PayPal? I just YOLO 200,000 into C1. Wish me luck, guys. C1 game. This is the way, the C1 way. Oh man. C1 to the moon. C1 to the sky, yeah, for sure. Reddit rallies behind C1, yeah. I don't know if we go behind it or over in front of it, or whatever. It depends what angle you point the, the rocket. It's a different type of rocket. Oh my goodness, this joke never ends. Different type of rocket. It's more of a financial rocket. Stock market rocket. This is a disgusting video. I'm gonna delete this video. This isn't gonna air. I'm not airing this. Selling GME for, okay, you know what? It is too much. It's too much. it was nice for the first 20 minutes. Now it's getting a little overplayed. Now we just got to move on to actual news. So let's look at what's actually going on with some GME action. All right, here we go. So that's Project CUM. Looks like it might be working. All right, let's look at my phone. Oh, my laptop. So, okay, Genie versus the market. The price goes up $20 and everyone loses their mind. I can't even imagine what people will be saying. Excuse me. Calm the F down. I can't even imagine what people will be saying when this reaches $300. It's gonna reach $1,000, so people are gonna lose their minds. I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna lose everything. You're gonna see people selling, but you know what? That's their fault because it's gonna go way higher than 1,000. I want to thank you guys for finally picking me up at an average of 134, and I think my average is 170 something. So you know, I'm getting closer. Create a web page to draw attention to the GME media and stock manipulation. I can see DDoS attempts. The site's error logs. Whoa. Get out of here, for real? That's really interesting. I saw this from an interview on Twitter and just now realized they will not issue or sell shares. We are the customers, it says costumers. We are the customers and he will do everything he can to make us happy and not what makes him money. And right now, a squeeze would make us happy. So this is an interview with Ryan Cohen. The interviewer asks, what are three pieces of advice you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur? Ryan Cohen. I'd be remiss to say my way is the right way. It's simply what worked for me. My dad had a glassware importing business, and he told me about how he was talking with his dad one day. His dad had pointed at two trucks. You see those trucks over there? He said, if what's in one of those trucks will make you more money, and what's in the other truck will make your customers happier, choose the one that makes your customers happier, even if you make less money. That served as the guiding premise for Chewy. And to be honest, I think that's what Nintendo has been doing since the 80s. They focus on fun. They don't really think of, oh, we got to release this game now because if we don't, we're gonna miss the Christmas season. Oh, we're gonna delay the game because a bad game is bad forever, but a good game, although it's delayed, it's a good game forever. You just give it the quality time it needs, and you make sure your customers are happy with the product. Update, March 4th, that's today, $131 million of deep in the money GameStop calls have been purchased. Oh, I think I read this. Oh, I know I didn't. So that brings the net to 131 million on the week and 12,000 calls. So I'm gonna open that and just see if that relates to the short squeeze in any way. Actually, I'm really feeling good about this channel right now, besides the COM jokes. So I feel like I'm coming into my own. Just sometimes, when you start a channel and you're doing a live stream or whatever, you're doing a video, you're thinking, oh, what am I going to talk about? Because, I don't want there to be an awkward silence and just like that, right? Just, or are people watching me? Oh, you just, not that you speak your mind, you say what is important. And there's a lot of important things on the screen. That's thanks to subreddit GME. Ooh, this is good. GME is mooning. It's gonna go to the moon tomorrow. Wow. Okay, let's read that. This is a gamma squeeze. Do not sell. You know what? It's on the way. It's on the way there. If GameStop gets to 500,000 per share, it will take a 6-hour road trip to Valhalla, Germany, and give away 500 bananas and monkey. That's it? Just 500 bananas. Come on, you can afford more than that. You do not need to be an SSR today. Stop pushing it. Do not sell to get it to 113. Hey, why would you sell? Don't sell. I never sold one stock ever since I bought it at what was that price? 300 something. I don't know. It's too high. I don't remember. cover all the necessary bases. Thank you, Renzo. I don't know what Renzo is. I don't know what Renzo is. It sounds interesting. You guys did it. GameStop corporate office. It's 5 stars on Google reviews. I've never been more bullish on GameStop than I have today. Do not underestimate what has been achieved today with this price. From Yahoo Finance. So you're saying we're doing everything right? So this is news? Fake news maybe? The GameStop frenzy was just crazy, she says. I don't know where she is. That wasn't just an investment. Or that wasn't an investment. That was a game. The king needs to stop. It's a bunch of BS. I'm gonna read it just for the sake of completing reading it. You don't invest in somebody or in something because you figured out a way to squeeze them, she adds. You invest in a company because you like the company, you like their management, you like their potential, they're ethical, they're honest, they're good, they can help this world. Okay, big hypocrite. That's what they're doing. Apparently GME isn't in any way connected to the rest of the stock market. I love it. That's what I've been saying. Entire stock market up in flames. GME portfolio holding steady and actually one finished in the green. So I'm saying, I've been talking about for the last week now, stock market crash is coming. Is it going to happen? Most likely it's going to happen in the fall because it didn't happen when I thought it would happen initially. And I didn't, again, my prediction was leading towards the fall because that's when stock market crashes usually occur. The 2008 stock market crash and the recession happened in September, October. You can look at that similar timing for this year. It's going to happen probably in August, September, middle of the month. Or not really middle of the month, but around August, September. So I've been talking about this, and for people, the importance of preparing for it so you don't become a victim, meaning you set aside 50% of your cash in reserve for the pending crash. You could keep some money in the stock market, 50% or less, but you want to be ready. So when the crash happens, you're not gonna be caught with your pants down, so to speak. You be ready to pick up all the stocks that maybe you like, or maybe the ones that I picked that I said are the low risk stocks, the lowest risk stocks and really good companies as well that I wouldn't mind holding for 10 years plus. Among them, Amazon, Google, McDonald's, and so on. Bank of America is another one, and that's the other one right now. JP Morgan is the other one. But yeah, so I've been talking about this for the last week, and so how that relates to GameStop is, well, GameStop turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Because if all my positions were, let's say, diversified, and some people say diversifying your assets means just that you don't know what you're doing. You're just doing it because everyone's doing it. But someone who really diversifies because they're convicted and they're really committed and loyal to their stocks. They believe in their stocks, not just because they're doing it because everyone's doing it. I need to buy oil, I need to buy, goods, material goods like food and stocks to do with agriculture, stocks to do with tech, stocks to do with retail, stocks to do with banks, and in principle, it's a good thing to do. But if you're just doing it because everyone's doing it, that's not a good reason to do it. So if I diversified, then I'd be screwed because I'd be down all around. Just overall, I'd be down. But since I kind of made the funny decision to load up on GameStop and AMC, pretty much, I think 80% of my portfolio is those two stocks. They're hedged. Ironically, they've been hedged by the hedge funds that have been manipulating it in the way they've been doing since last month. So they're protected by all this, uh, humbug that they're doing. I'm going to bring back humbug. It means nonsense. All the humbug they've been doing has been causing the stock to have a protective barrier and buffer. It's been insulated by all their legal tactics to the point that it doesn't even react to the market anymore. It seems to be in its own universe, and that's because of what the shorts have done. So they've actually blessed GameStop by thinking they're cursing it. They blessed it. That's the big irony here. Okay, I think I'm going to close this forum now. I have a total of, man, I've got 7 tabs to read. Okay, only 1.8 million. 1.8 million shares traded. Don't let the dip scare you away. Okay, that was earlier today. I'm going to close this now. All right, so I'm going to close this main window and I'll start reading the tabs and then close the stream. I've got a lot of things to do. I was thankful I got to work on it yesterday. I thought I was just a bit procrastinating, to be honest. There's just so much going on in life with the stocks, with my sleep schedule. I'm trying to fix that as well. I've just got a lot on my plate for this coming weekend. I created a web page to draw attention to the GameStop media and stock manipulation. So this person they created and shared a website called gmetruth.com. A one-page overview of what's going on with GME, written in a way someone who's only seen mainstream media reports would understand, and hosted on a standalone web page. That's a high effort post. So that it's easily accessible outside of Reddit. Since yesterday evening, the site has been getting increased amounts of traffic, as in thousands. And I noticed earlier, there are attempts to access files which are used for WordPress exploits. Hundreds of hits from a series of single IP addresses in quick succession. Maybe someone trying to cause a DDoS outage. They want to take down the website. The joke is on whoever's trying to take the site down, though. It's a single page of raw code. Oh my goodness, my battery's low. I'm going to plug it in. About to die. I'm about to go offline. It's an emergency. Okay. All right, we're back. So joke's on whoever's trying to take the site down. It's a single page of raw code website. It has no exploitable code. Whatever. I read that so many times it gets a little old. I'm just an ape, smooth brain. And okay. TLDR. It seems nefarious actors are trying to. Oh, my eyes are hurting. I need to put these Cyclops shades on. It seems nefarious actors are trying to censor content that would challenge the media narrative, which exists outside of Reddit and could potentially go viral. Buy and hold GME. This is not financial advice. Edit. Man, this guy has 5 edits as long as his post. Longer than his post. Thank you for the awards. Getting some suggestions. In case there's any doubt about what this post means, Rocket HTML. Brilliant. As a fellow developer, I can appreciate the genius in this simplicity. Simple is often best. Haha, nice one. Keep fighting the good fight. And then I just make sure I uploaded this guy's post. So user is INFJ-T. You can close this tab, take a look at this guy's website, see what it looks like. So the truth about GME is very simple. It's not like a 90s, early 2000s internet HTML design. It's pretty simple, but almost like a Bible study website. with just text, no images. So I'm going to read the overview. I did a lot of effort into this. So let me just read the very first paragraph here. Over the last few weeks, you've probably heard about how volatile swings in the share price of GameStop have been driven by vengeful internet sleuths from Reddit and wealth inequality activists. What? What? You've probably also heard how dangerous it would be to invest in GameStop and why other long-term positions in silver are a better investment opportunity. Today, I'd like to explain to you why everything you've read or seen was a lie and how the wealthiest 1% are trying to protect themselves by manipulating the media and the stock market. I do admit it probably sounds like a conspiracy theory, but then it would, because we're currently experiencing what is known in investing as a short and distort. So what is that? Short and distort, SND, refers to an unethical and illegal practice that involves shorting a stock and then spreading rumors in an attempt to drive down its price. S&D traders manipulate stock prices, conducting smear campaigns, often online, to drive down the price of the targeted stock. So they've been doing this for the last 30 years, although maybe not on the internet, but they've been shorting companies and bankrupting them and stealing from the retail investor. And when you think about it, Scott, and spiritually, it's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to close that tab. So thank you for that website. Good job. And you could use more WallStreetBets guy, but it's okay. It's good. Simple is good. Simple is adequate. It is sufficient. Okay, the Rocket HTML is not working. Oh wow, there's a little animation there. Wow, that's nice. Impressive. I want to reload that. It was so nice to see that red rocket thing going up there. Past the clouds and then off the screen. Never to be seen again. Nice. That's pretty charming. Maybe you should have opened the website like that. Maybe you could have used the rocket thing at the top of the website as his logo or icon. So I now have a total of 6 tabs remaining. So I saw this from an interview on Twitter, so I read this already. Talking about Chewy. Now I'm now GameStopper for life. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us, and I don't think I'm the only one, because of what Ryan Cohen said and all the trials and tribulations we've gone through with the stock, and I'm not exaggerating, we've been through a lot of stuff just in the last month with the market manipulation, the banning of GameStop and AMC and all the meme stocks. I personally will hold one GameStop stock and never sell it. Just gonna hold it, that one stock. I'm not gonna sell it. That's gonna stay with me for life, just because it means a lot to me. It's a souvenir of this movement, of this moment in time. And to just sell it would mean it's just a stock. And it's not just a stock. So I'm going to keep that one share. I currently have 43, I think. So I'm going to sell 42 when it gets to 100,000 and keep that one no matter what the price is. I'm just going to keep it. So say it goes to $1 billion, I'm still not going to sell it. So I'm not going to sell it. Even at $1 billion. Just going to keep it. It's more than money. So in that case, I'll keep 2. If it goes to $1 billion, I'll sell the 1. I'll keep 2. I'll sell the 1, and then I'll always keep that 1. Update. Okay, I think I read this already. No. Right, I'm trying to scan through this. I don't want to read the whole thing. It's quite a mouthful. Kind of like that new stock. me say what it is, but Charlie Umbrella, Charlie F1 Mike. Just the new stock there. The stock will reach, okay. So an individual, one buyer bought 100 million of calls on GameStop in the last 3 days. $100 million worth. My goodness. And you'll be blessed with a trillion tendies, you beautiful ape. Probably is Chamath or Elon Musk. Somebody we don't even know about. Could be, what's that, Bezos guy? Could be Bezos, who knows? Could be one of the Winklevoss twins. I feel like for both of them, because they are on the cusp of, I think they have that thing that I have, probably a greater degree, because they are actually billionaires. I'm not. They bought how many millions of worth of Bitcoin way before it exploded. And as a result, now they're billionaires. They used to be millionaires. Bitcoin brought them to the billionaire club. So, it could be them. Maybe they invested part of their billions. Maybe just took, a small, like a percent of their billions. And that's all it takes to bring the stock, to drive the price higher. And they're just going to make more and more money. Is there enough money for $100,000 per share? Of course there is. Some people in the sub have asked, maybe with authentic curiosity, or maybe to raise FUD, if it is possible that GameStop could actually be sold for $100,000 US dollars per share, and then plus 100,000 plus. Okay, so the gentle and naive ape might think, let me just hold this with my hands. I feel like it's not gonna some problems here. So the naive person would think or might think there isn't much money available. The FUDsters might argue it's going to crash the whole economy, or Melbourne will just go bankrupt, leaving us holding the bag. No, that's not how it works. Let me give you a little bit of perspective. There is a lot of money in the world, a lot. If you think it's trillions, it's more than trillions. It's spread out in bank accounts, investment funds, stocks, securities, real estate, property, land, a whole bunch of other money containers, even in Bitcoin, or what have you. Cool. From my understanding of the housing bubble crisis, super rich people are looking for a place to put their accumulated wealth that would get them a good return, and the CDO was the answer. You know what CDO is. The super rich couldn't get enough of them, unethical as they were. The banks created crappy CDOs to meet the needs. As you know, it all went boobs up, and the wealthy took a small hit to the tune of billions and billions of dollars, recovered very quickly, and became even richer in the last 12 years. The regular folk took a lot longer, a whole lot longer to recover. So that's from the 2008 housing crash, right? The housing bubble crisis, the recession. So the CDO is out of fashion, and super rich people will still need to invest their money. They have to put it somewhere. Super rich and I have the same problem. My bank offers me 0.015% interest in my savings account. Not good. So the super rich buys things that will increase in value while they can also enjoy it at the same time. I don't really have that option. So consider this. Imagine a city. It's a long post with a million people in it. And I just can't do it now. It's too long. So saying cities are owned by investors. They're owned by banks and mortgage companies, not the working class. That's what he's saying. And that's the truth that he's presenting to us. So there's so much money floating around, massive wealth, and it is not spread out. It is concentrated. A very few people own a lot. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people bring that up. That I think 90% of the world's wealth or more is owned by 1% of the population. And if that's true, it's a crazy fact. Look out your window. Somebody owns the whole landscape. Somebody, somebody. When we think about the DTCC, a financial company, it's like the collective working cash bank account in the stock market. But if you recall, wealth is concentrated, so it's more or less the working cash bank account for the super rich people. It has something like $40 trillion in it. Actually, I think it's more than that. And for perspective, 400 million shares of GME and 100,000 each. But that's just a working cash bank account. The real wealth is in the real estate properties, land, stocks, securities, etc. People don't let money just sit around and not earning its keep. Yeah, it's true. The price of GME hits 100,000 per share. That money will need to get replenished in order to make the stock market work again. How will they do it? They will do what regular people do when faced with a shortage of cash. They will sell a few things. Exactly, they're going to sell their holdings in Google, Amazon, sell their property, sell real estate, land, stocks, securities, all these things. Yeah, that's what they'll do. He's right. Things they don't find essential like yachts, vacation homes, investment properties, land, helicopters, private jets, sport teams, boat flips, airstrips. Well, I like that in mind. Who knows what else? They'll get by. Of course they will. They always do. So yes, there's definitely enough money to support 100,000 per share. And if they don't get by, they're going to get bailed out by someone above them that needs them to continue to function in their position. Think of was it Freddie Mac or when President Obama bailed out a bunch of people. Can't remember their names right now, but anyway, bailed them out, and they ended up screwing the people. So yeah, they'll get by. So there's definitely enough money to support 100,000 per share. The question is, do holders have the guts to wait for it? Too long didn't read. I didn't say right at all, except for the long detailed thing about the city. Yes, there is enough money. If you people own everything, they won't feel a thing. I mean, they'll feel like a pinch. It's got like a little, like that, like a little. That's it. They'll survive. This post is my opinion. Blah blah blah. Okay, it actually says blah blah blah. Can we upload this? Pull the poo out of this so that retards can stop asking this question many times over. There's 500,000 per share. BTCC is worth 40 trillion. Divide that by 70 million shares, and you arrive at 500,000 per share. Wow. That's looking like 100,000 is the worst case scenario. Yeah. Okay, well, there's a lot of hopium right here. I'm going to go to the next tab. It's called Tomorrow GME is Going to the Moon. It's mooning the In the Money Squeeze Explained. It has 787 reports. Okay, not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Talking about statistical significance. I'm talking about the Ttm Squeeze. Basically, red dots indicate a squeeze forming. When the dots go green is when the squeeze fires off. It is one of my favorite indicators to use for trading. So this is 4 hours ago. As it helps to predict the big moves in the market. If you want a deeper explanation of the indicator, read the following bit. If you understand that red is consolidation, green is the squeeze firing off, you're chilling. Okay? The Ttm Squeeze captures TTM or ITM, whatever. Captures the moment when market is in a period of consolidation right before a big move, predicts the subsequent direction of the move, those red and green dots, that run along the middle of the TTM linked to two underlying indicators. You may already be aware of Bollinger Bands and Keltner channels, and I don't pay attention to that. It's stupid to understand that. When the Bollinger Bands are so tight, they are inside the Keltner channels. It means the market is in a period of extreme consolidation and statistically primed for a large move, the squeeze. These periods are symbolized by the red dots on the indicator. So now, give a very brief idea of what Ttm Squeezers. Allow me to blow your mind. Below is the GME chart from mid-late January, right before the big run. This is the 4-hour time frame. Notice how the Ttm Squeeze Blue bars with red and green dots was red for 3 days before going green, firing off at the beginning of the major run. During that period of consolidation, I added 80 shares, and boy, oh boy, am I happy for doing that. Don't worry, I don't know what to sell about in this. Oh, shoot. Okay, so he's talking about mid-late January, right before the big run. 4-hour time frame, notice the Ttm Squeeze blue bars with red and green dots. So we're going to look for blue bars, red and green dots, was red for 3 days before going green. So let's look at this little picture. Only I could see it. So blue bars with red dots, yeah, went red. Wow. Ooh, I like this chart. So this is called a Keltner channel, whatever that is. A bamboozle diesel. What is it called? The B, something with a B? Belt something? Beltner? I don't know. Belkoff? What is it? Can't even find it anymore. Bollinger Bands. Okay, the Bollinger Bands are inside the Keltner channels. So that was what it looked like before the squeeze, and this is what it looks like now, past few days. Look at the Ttm squeeze far right, just beneath the chart, red dots. Today marked day 2 of consolidation, 4-hour time frame. Given the price movement is statistically significant based off DD, tomorrow marks day 3. We all know what happened last month on day 3. This could be coincidence, but I'm a technical trader. And me too, I'm a technical trader as well. It's about a good setup as you can get. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer. Any comments? Oh, sorry. It's been a pleasure holding with you, apes. TLDR, if price action really does mimic that of what we saw during the last major run, tomorrow should be the start of an even bigger run. Edit to clarify, I'm not saying Jamie will hit 100K tomorrow. I'm anticipating the run to 100K to start tomorrow. Whoa. Wow, upvote this to the sky. This is amazing. This is a great post. This guy is really onto something. So it's not going to hit 100K tomorrow. It's going to start that run to 100K tomorrow. And I just doubled my position. I tripled down today. I sold half my position in AMC and bought Genie because I could see if I waste any more time, it'll be too late. AMC will go up. Yes, it'll go up to like 20, 40, right? But Genie will be like at 1,000. So it's AMC's in the dust. Yeah, it's going up and the market's crashing, but AMC is only going like a little, like a, and then, Genie's like it's already not even on the plan anymore. That's my analysis right there. When it goes, that's when holy crap, what kind of crayons crayon are you eating? What are your thoughts on seeing that? That look is sticky. You son of a. Alright, so that's great. So let's look at that chart. I will look at it by myself and see if it looks like the last one. Oh, get out of here. No, it's not. That's not a real chart. Come on, don't make this up, man. Wow. No, that can't be real. Come on. Oh, okay, this is the one. Okay. So we're looking at the red dots. Where's the red dot? It said day 3. Oh, right there. Okay. So he's projecting what the chart would look like, I guess. So I don't really see the red dots. I don't know. Am I blind? Where's the red dots? I don't know. Where's the red dots? Okay, well, I trust this guy. I'm just too stupid to see it. I'm just blind. I don't know what day it's on. I don't see any dates. Today is Thursday. So I guess it would be over there. Let's scroll right. Oh, there it is. Okay. No, that's not it. I don't know what it is anymore. Looking for blue bars with red dots. So I don't see any blue bars with red dots. I guess that's the one. Towards the end. It looks like at least 2 blue bars. Okay, right. Wow. Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, so there was a succession of, I see 7 red dots. Then there was another bunch of red dots. Didn't really do much. But we need the blue bars, is what he's saying. And the volume really drives the price. That's something we need to notice. Yeah, I see that as well. It's 8 now. So this could be either taking longer or it's going to be a massive squeeze. Just like it's like charging. You know, when you ever played Mega Man or some of those games where you can hold down the button, you can charge your gun. It's like it's charging, and what it's going to release is a lot of, you know, payload. It's a big load coming up. This is a dirty video. I'm gonna get banned on YouTube. It's such a dirty video. All right, I got 3 tabs to go. No, two to go. Sorry. All right, thank you, Rensol. Who is Rensol or Rensole? Who is that? We're holding this jungle together. We covered necessary bases without dribbling on. Straight to the point. I got an award. You did? Oh, I don't see no one. The hero we need, but not the one we deserve. We don't deserve user Rensol, but they deserve us to hold. So Senor Rensole. So he's calling out Rensol. I don't see him responding. I don't know who that is. I guess it's a moderator. I suppose it's a moderator. Oops. I'm gonna click on user Rensol and just see what do they do. What have they done for me lately? It must be 18 plus to view it. What? Okay, I don't see porn on here. What is going on? Oh boy, I hope it doesn't reflect in my lenses. Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see what Lens was about. I hope it doesn't post anime porn or something, or hentai. So ask me how I know that. Okay, Chef's Kiss. Okay, right. Predators are pumping these things. Okay, so I guess he's a moderator, and I think it's on GME. So that's what I think he is. Yeah, okay, it says moderator of GME. Got trophies and whatnot. And his top post of all time, Rensol, is yeah. Oh, he posted the C1 Mega Thread, or did he just comment on it? Guess he's the one. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. Anchorman for the morning news. Yes, but that's the great thing about TITS. But even when the stock is small and perky or big and growing, it's still good. Just grab them when the situation calls for it. So he's a funny guy. He seems to be very much like, he reminds me of WallStreetBets, like the true WallStreetBets spirit. Like Rensol seems to be like such a chill person and just funny. And this doesn't seem to be about BS. It's just about the community, and that's what we need. That's the kind of mods that make Reddit great. I make the internet a great invention. So it just lets us do what we do. And then anyone that's not supposed to be in GME will be, you know, kicked out, appropriately kicked out in a timely manner. So I'm gonna close that tab. So one more tab is the last one. I'm gonna close the screen. It's almost 11 p.m. over here. I've never been more bullish on GME than I have today. Do not underestimate what has been achieved today with the price. Literally everything is down. I've never seen such a deep sea of red for a while. I've seen one, I think it was like a week or two ago. That being said, I was cautious about being burned again. I was bullish on GME, but I always had the nagging voice in the back of my head telling me that what we were all doing was feeding off our own confirmation bias. And I'm just gonna look up when was that little dip we had. That was when I bought some stocks at a really cheap price. If I continue on, when did I buy that stock? It was that was the day where Torchlight dipped to like 2 something when I bought it. So yeah, we saw a dip most recently on the February 23rd, but today was a little bit more steep of a drop. I mean, it wasn't as steep, but it was just lower in terms of value. But I think the 23rd was a steeper drop. It was just out of nowhere. The 23rd, yeah. So the 23rd was a Tuesday. So last Tuesday, there seems to be a little bit of correction almost every week now. What is tanking along like a little warrior? Our very own GME. This mofo is going against the grain, the entire market. If it can't survive and climb 10% at one point, then we're going to the moon. I don't think this person understands what has happened to GME and AMC. The reason why they can go against the grain is because it's been so manipulated to the point it's not even part of the stock market. The hedge funds are manipulated to the point where it's so mangled it can't become normal anymore. It can't be normal in terms of relating to the stock market. It relates to its own world. It's like if you ever played Dark Souls, it's like Artorias of the Abyss. Like he's no longer Artorias. He's part of the Abyss, and he can't join the normal realm anymore. He's just part of the Abyss. So whatever happens in the real world, he's unaffected. He doesn't care about it. Doesn't affect him at all. And that's what's happening with GME and AMC. They're not affected. They're part of like the Abyss. They've been manipulated and shorted to the Abyss to the point that whatever happens in the rest of the stock market doesn't affect either stock. I mean, AMC was a little bit affected, but overall, I don't think that had anything to do with the stock market. It was just you see a bit of a shift of people either selling AMC and going to GME, or they're selling GME and going to AMC, but it seems to be the former. So it doesn't matter about interest rates or bonds. It doesn't matter about S&P, blah, blah, blah. You can't argue with a multi-billion-dollar pool. Those hedge funds, or the short hedge hedge fund. That's a new name for them. Hey, you hedge fund, down to themselves. Okay, so I'm starting to think we will win. And F the system. Isn't that Mr. Robot? Something system? Like screw the system? F the society? Yeah, F society. I think that's what they said. They're a little hacker thing. It's making my old man's. Oh my goodness, not gonna read that. 1 million a share minimum. Super conservative. They can still get off easy. Oh yeah, okay. I think that's a little. A million per share. I think we're gonna. That's the point where I just go, okay, I think we had too much hope here. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's going to go to a million per share. It's a little. That's like a. It's not even a meme. That's just. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. If that happens, then I think the inflation will happen, and then our money will be worth nothing. At that point, it'll cost $1 million to buy a Big Mac. At that point. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for the stream today. That's our update. Again, we saw a bit of a sell-off. Oh, comment here says Ryan Cohen can make GameStop the Amazon of games. That would be really, you know what? If anyone could do it, it would be Ryan Cohen. about people. So it's actually it's an interesting thought. I just scroll all the way down just to see that. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, okay, so to this post here. I'll see how far the squeeze goes, try to catch the fall. Yeah, that's what I think that's what we're all doing here. Not selling on the way up or selling on the way down. As it reaches the peak and then we start seeing it, kind of fall back a little bit, then we're going to see a big sell off. And I don't know, it's hard to predict where the peak will be. That just depends on where the resistance will start. Long term, I'm aiming for 500 per share in a matter of 5 years, maybe less. Ryan Cohen grew Chewy super fast from scratch. GameStop has a great foundation of customer relationships and existing infrastructure. GameStop made more than double the revenue Chewy did in 2019 and is valued 4 times less at its short squeeze speculation price. So that's a good point. This is at the very bottom of the thread. This comment. I'm very new to this. I expect once risk closed, the natural price of GameStop will be around $100, probably deflated in the aftermath to prove a point, with the rest of the fundamental value marching in with changes being made over time. I don't know. It's hard to say because if Ryan Cohen can transform GameStop at the same level to the same degree that he did with Chewy, and I haven't even seen that stock, which is CHWY. Let's look at the maximum chart. So it was a company that was entered the market at a value of $34 per share and went all the way down to $22, $22.89. Actually, 2062 was the 52-week range. This company was valued at 2062, went all the way up just recently, by the way. February, month of February, up to $120. $120. So that's an increase of 239%. Ryan Cohen can do the same thing with GameStop, just organically without all the meme stuff. He can take the stock of GameStop and turn it a to be trading at a regular normal rate. I don't know how to say this, but trading regularly at most likely around $200, just normally. So at that point, when it gets to that point where it's just trading regularly at $200, $400 per share under Ryan Cohen's leadership, you can expect a stock split. I'm not sure at what price they will offer that stock. I mean, that's up to Ryan Cohen and the board of directors. But I mean, if I had to put a bet, if I had to wager how much that stock would be split into, probably would be at least a 4-to-1 or 1-to-4. So if you have one share turned to 4 shares, meaning it's $1,000, it'll be worth $250 per share. Or it could be up to 10 shares, one share into 10. So if it's 1,000, it'll be 100 per share. And I think that's a smarter play in my opinion. And Brian Cohen is smarter than me. Probably, he definitely is. He's the guy on top of GameStop. I can see him doing that. So yeah, you can see what this guy just said. It's probably going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Where yeah, it's going to trade around $100, but that's after the split. That's after it splits from $1,000 per share into each share will be now 10, and that would kill all the shorts right away because all the naked shorts would pretty much dissolve, and the stock price would, my goodness, it's going to go crazy. But that would justify the price being 10,000 plus or 1,000 to 10,000. So each stock would then be 1,000 each, either 100 or 1,000 each, and that would still be pretty affordable, and they could generate a lot of funds for them to pay their debt, for them to remain a viable business for the near future, for the long, not the near future, for the long term. And I think that's the right play to do. We'll see if that is what he does. Ryan Cohen does that eventually. I believe there's going to be a GameStop presentation. Either AMC or GameStop are going to do a update. I think it's in March. I think it's coming up sometime with either or. I think it's to do with GameStop because it does relate to the pending squeeze. There was a looming stock market crash, but there's also a looming pending squeeze when it comes to GameStop and AMC, and it's funny, that how those two might even be somewhat connected. They might affect each other. That GameStop squeeze, not that it's going to crash the market, but you might see some kind of weird manipulation going on there. Although it's not related, they're going to blame a crash on GameStop and AMC and vilify all the people all the shareholders, all the Redditors, all the people the retail investors essentially, and the billionaires and everyone else who went long on GameStop. So I don't know. I mean, that's a theory of mine. I think that's what could possibly happen. But it's really interesting. I mean, it's really exciting to be part of this, like to be involved, to have some skin in the game. But it's also going to be interesting to see, just to watch it, like as an entertainment. The stock market is really, I don't know what the word is. It's its own world. Like video games are its own world, and they're fun and they're entertaining. And music has its own charm. But the stock market is like, it's like everything the casino wish it could be. you know, it's everything casinos wish they could be, except it's not all chance. It's really has to do with patience, has to do with your research, has to do with your instincts. It's got. I mean, yeah, casinos have to do with that too, with instinct. But I mean, there's just a lot more. I mean, some people make the argument that investing in stocks is like gambling. To some degree, it can be if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't do your research beforehand, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't do your due diligence. You don't set your targets. You pick stocks that are brand new and you just buy it just because. We pick companies that are trustworthy, that are the best in their domain. For example, McDonald's obviously is the top in fast food. Walmart for retail, Home Depot is there, and Amazon for online retail. I mean, those are the top. So why would you buy a stock for some no-name company versus a Walmart? Now, I'm not saying Walmart. I have to be careful here, but I mean, people complain that Walmart has put a lot of small businesses out, put them out of business, mom and pop stores. But Walmart is like the mom and pop store that became a monopoly when you think about it. But yeah, I mean, I do agree in some ways, but I'm only looking at the stock market angle. I'm not looking at the ethical angle. I'm not looking at the entrepreneurial angle. You gotta, you go into the stock market, yeah, it can be a risk. It can be like gambling in a way, but it also isn't, because if you take an educated risk, you do your due diligence, you're informed, you experience, you learn from people who have had a lot of great success, such as Warren Buffett, and you even do paper stocks, like you just buy an imaginary share or shares in whatever company. You do that over time. I mean, I tried that. I mean, it's never really, kind of gets boring unless you really have a good imagination. You can just pretend, oh, this is real money. Uh, yeah, I mean, it can be fun. I mean, it is fun, but I'm trying to say is I'm trying to say is it is a calculated risk. It is an educated risk. It is an informed risk. It's always going to be a risk. It'll always be a risk because that's just the nature of the game. Stock markets can crash. Stocks don't just go up; they go down too. So it depends on your entry point. I think that's one of the most important things. Besides picking the right um, company, besides setting your picking the right company is very very important, but also probably just equally as important as your entry point. And somebody who is a billionaire can overnight turn into a millionaire and lose tons of money if they enter the market at a very chasing a stock. For example, they bought Tesla right now, or not right now, if they bought it at 900 or close to 900, they they would have taken quite a hit by now. As you can see, it is dropping. And like I said, Tesla's looking like the canary in the coal mine regarding the pending looming stock market crash. I've been saying for the last month that Tesla is going to go down to $300 to $500, 330 to be specific, 330 to 500. Just looking at Tesla, I believe they dipped to 600 today. And they tested 600. The low was 600 today, so it almost broke that. It almost broke the support, and it eventually will. It's a great company, but again, technical analysis says that the stock will drop to 330 to 4, something like 411 based on this support here. But I'm going to say 500 because I know the the reputation of this company is such that it may not obey this technical analysis to a T. It might just go just a little above 411, so more like 500. That's why I'm saying 330 to 500 is a good, very good price to buy Tesla. It's an optimal trade. It's an apex investor proof trade. Tesla is, but at 330 to 500, nothing more than that. And obviously, less is better. And then you would sell this at $1,000 because it is going to go there eventually. It's just it has to test the support first, and then it can take off. But that's what has to happen. That's the way the stock market works. So Tesla is definitely a canary in the coal mine. I haven't seen a better example of this than Tesla. Of all the stock markets, of all the stocks, Tesla is probably the prime example of a stock that is swaying in terms of it's kind of following the trend of the Dow Jones in there. Look at the Dow Jones, just been on a tear, right? On October 30, it dipped, but then it went all the way up and had a little dip on February 1st, and then it went all the way up. So if you look at Tesla, just look at the same thing and see if it lines up. Because I mean, I do track all these indexes to get a better sense of when is this crash happening. You can see, yeah, Tesla had a roar going up, and we had the stock split earlier in the year or last year, and then actually no, it's not following it to a T, but it is following it more closely now in the last month or so. So Tesla is definitely a sign. Once we see Tesla go below 600 and eventually to 500, that means this crash is happening. That's what I believe. When Tesla gets to 300 to 400, it's already too late. Like you should have had 50% of your money in reserve before this happened. Personally, the way things worked out for me, I do have cash in reserve, and I'm not even going to touch it until the crash happens. I'm not even going to, nothing, not doing anything until the crash has happened. So not when it's happening, till it's done, and it starts to recover. So I'm waiting for the absolute low point, the absolute bottom needs to fall out first before I put in a penny into the stock market again, besides GameStop and AMC. So that's my strategy. I said on my original video 50%, and I guess that's what's happening because I already have money in there. So anything additional will not be going into any stocks until the crash occurs. So that's the way I'm going to play it. And I did say more than a 50% just watch, but to be honest, I think the original plan of 30% was actually the right place. So 30% decrease in the market because it may not go past that. It's hard to predict. I would invest 25% of my reserve cash. If it goes to 50%, I put another 50 or another 25. I mean, it depends. You really have to see the way the market is moving. So if it continues to decrease, once it hits the bottom, I think that's really how it should go. So someone made a post on GameStop. I'm just gonna end with this. Someone made a post on GameStop asking, okay, when do we sell? And he said, there's the money sell. You sell after you reach the peak and start to decrease. Because you don't want to miss the peak. You don't want to sell as it's going to 10,000. You want to sell when it's already at like 50,000. It's going down to 48, 40, 30. That's when you want to sell, not down here at like 1,000 to 10,000 or even 14,000. You want to sell right when it's reached its absolute apex investor. So that's when you want to do it. And same thing goes for stock market crash. So if we're looking at the Dow Jones, and then the Dow Jones at its peak was, if I'm mistaken, 31, 32,000. Yeah, about 32,000 in the 52-week range. So let's just say it goes down to 20,000, and that's what happened last year. It went down to 19,000 or so in March of 2020. Let's say it goes down to 15, and you bought everything at 19 when it was at 19. That's not bad, but you could have done better. So it goes down to 15, and then you start to see it going back up, 1550, 16,000. Then it's done. 17,000, no, it's done. 18,000, it's already done. You didn't miss your opportunity, but now it's starting to recover. So buy now before it's too late before the prices go back to normal, and then you see new highs. Because after every stock market crash or correction, as they call it, new highs are set. That's the way it's been done historically. It's the way it seems to be going until the stock market ends. Until there's no more stock market. Yeah. So it's a very interesting ride. It's a very interesting life, stock market life. And there's a lot of young people doing this now. I remember starting, I mentioned Nintendo. I invested in 2007, 2008. That was good 13 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. And I was in my 20s, maybe even a teenager at that point. So a lot of people are kind of reliving what I did, except on a different scale, in a different environment. Because when I was doing it, I just thought, hey, Nintendo, Apple before the iPhone, and Netflix before it became what it is now, and then trading at $40 when I bought it. And Beyond Meat, another good pick. CODX is another good pick that I picked up as a result of a channel called Blazing Press. I was listening to them. Someone called in, gave a little bit of heads up about, hey, there's this company, and this could be pretty big, and they don't work for the company. They just let people share it from like information that they read and things like that. So and then now with GameStop and AMC, this could be the mother of all of those investments. But we'll see. I mean, I've never seen the stock. I mean, I have. I've seen Tesla go up to 1,000, but the way that GME is doing it, or that it did it back last month, and how it was manipulated so blatantly, really made me realize that this game, sorry to say, but this game of the stock market is taking a new turn. It's no longer playing by the rules we once thought apply to everybody. So, I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing something similar in the future. But having said that, there's still a lot that they have to just comply with. There's too much going against them. It's too strong of a tsunami. Sorry to use that analogy in light of what happened today, but it's too strong of a current to push back. You can't push back against their own, meaning hedge funds or non-billionaires, banks, institutional investors, whoever's on the side of the lungs now, the side of the retail investors. They're not doing it again. They're not doing it for us. As the trade has correctly pointed out, they're doing it for themselves. We just happen to be in the middle of the crossfire and on the wrong side, obviously. So that's all I have for today. It's a long video, man. But you know what? Today's been an interesting day, and now I can get to work on what I have to do for this weekend. So thank you very much for your time. I'll do this again tomorrow. Actually, no, we won't do this tomorrow. We won't do this tomorrow. I'm not doing this, but we'll be doing this most likely on Monday after hours. I don't think we'll do it. If I have time, I'll do it on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see how the weekend pans out. Um, I don't know. I have to double check and see if I can actually do it Sunday. I may not be able to. If I am correct that Sunday, last Sunday was the first day, second day, third day, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So I might be able to do a video on Sunday evening, possibly, but if not, it'll be Monday. So that's my schedule for this channel. Thank you very much for your time. And Apex Investor signing out.